Hi, I'm Abi Buglass, and for today's Daily Dose, I'm going to be reading a translation by David Ferry of part of Virgil's poem, the Georgics. I'll read from the fourth book of the poem. So this is Georgics, book 4, lines 485 to 527, which describes the sad story of Orpheus's failed rescue of his love, Eurydice, from the underworld. And now, as he was carefully going back the way he came, and step by step avoiding all possible wrong steps, and step by step, Eurydice, whom he was bringing back, unseen behind his back, was following. For this is what Proserpina had commanded. They were coming very near the upper air, and a sudden madness seized him, madness of love, a madness to be forgiven if hell but knew how to forgive. He stopped in his tracks. And then, just as they were about to emerge out into the light, suddenly, seized by love, bewildered into heedlessness, alas, his purpose overcome, he turned and looked back at Eurydice. And then and there his labour was spilled and flowed away like water. The implacable tyrant broke the pact. 3 times the pools of Avernus heard the sound of thunder. What was it, she cried, what madness, Orpheus, was it that has destroyed us, you and me? Oh, look. The cruel fates already call me back, and sleep is covering over my swimming eyes. Farewell. I'm being carried off into the vast surrounding dark, and reaching out my strengthless hands to you forevermore, alas, not yours. And saying this, like smoke disintegrating into air, she was dispersed away and vanished from his eyes, and never saw him again. And he was left clutching at shadows, with so much still to say. And the boatman never again would take him across the barrier of the marshy waters of hell. What could he do? His wife twice taken from him. How could he bear it? How could his tears move hell? The Stygian boat has carried her away. And it is said that he, day after day, for 7 months, beside the river Strymon, sat underneath a towering cliff and wept, and sang, and told in song his story. Entranced the wild beasts listened, entranced the oak trees moved, closer to hear the song, which was like that of the nightingale, in the shade of a poplar tree, in mourning for her children who were taken, as yet unfledged, by a herdsman, hard of heart, who had happened upon the nest. She weeps all night, and over repeats her lamentation, and fills the listening air with her sad complaint. No thought of marriage or any other love could turn his heart away from its bereavement. Alone he roamed the Hyperborean north, and wandered along the snowy banks of the Don, or through the barren frozen fields on the sides of Riphaean mountains, in grief for his lost wife, and Hades' empty promise, until the enraged Siconian Bacchantes, in nocturnal ritual orgy, tore his bodies to pieces, and scattered the pieces everywhere, far and wide. And as his head, cut off from his beautiful body, was tumbling down the rushing course of Hebrus, his voice and tongue, with his last breath, cried out, Eurydice, O poor Eurydice. And the banks of the downward river Hebrus echoed, O poor Eurydice, Eurydice.